Alright guys, what's up? This is a video that I think will help Chris understand the issue of him hitting ground balls to the right side on that inside pitch and sometimes that pitch down the middle. Called staying through the inside pitch, right? So to understand what we're going to try to fix here, we have to preface this video with a few different issues. So we want to talk about the vertical versus horizontal accuracy, the attack angle, launch angle. I'm sure if you watch enough baseball, you know some of that. Stressful velocity and timing, right? So when it comes to his timing, Chris's timing, I think he's fine. So no worries there, but we'll talk about stressful velocity, right? So we'll start with this vertical versus horizontal accuracy. And this is pretty simple, right? This is pretty self-explanatory, but if nobody's ever said it to you, maybe you don't really think about it that much, right? So vertical accuracy, if I take a baseball, right? This is my baseball. Boom, boom, right? Vertical accuracy is where on this ball we hit. So if we square up a ball, it's going to be slightly below the midline, right? Slightly below that midline. That's squaring up the ball. That'll create a line drive, fly ball, bomb, double, whatever you want. If we hit too far up on the ball, which Chris is doing on the inside pitch, you're going to get that ground ball. You're going to get top spin. You're not going to hit the ball hard, yada, yada, yada. If we hit low, obviously the complete opposite. So when we do our drill, we'll talk about this. When we do our drill, I want Chris to set up the ball on the tee so he can see the horseshoe, right? The horseshoe of the seams. So he's going to set it up like that. I know a lot of people do it at the railroad tracks, but we're going to do this so Chris can aim for this bottom seam right here, right? All right, so that's vertical versus horizontal accuracy. Next issue is his attack angle or launch angle. So attack and launch. Launch angles. Okay. So again, if we watch MLB Network, this is a big issue or a big talking point right now. I wholeheartedly agree with it. We'll quickly talk about it. So if a pitcher's on a mound, right, say it's a 6-foot tall pitcher, he's on a 10-inch mound here. 10-inch, that's all out of the picture, whatever. So that's the mound right here. This is 10 inches off the mound. We got a 6-foot pitcher, 6 foot, and he's throwing down towards the plate. Here's the plate. All right, and the catcher is going to be about 12 inches off the ground. I think we talked about this last night too, right? So that ball's working on a downward plane. Generally, they say fastballs work at about a -7-degree plane, right? So realistically, we want our bat to be working up on that same plane. Now, more times than not, it's not going to work out that way. But let's just say Chris is in his normal swing, let's just say off a tee, in Chris's normal swing, his attack angle towards the baseball is at 10 degrees, which is fine. I want my players to be anywhere between 10 and 15 degrees. All right, so his bat is working up towards this baseball. The ball's working this way. Working up towards this baseball at 10 degrees, okay? And that would be 10 degrees from 0, which is parallel to the ground, right? So I think if Chris continued his swing on this plane without trying to rush to the pitch, and I think that's the issue, is he sees that inside pitch and his brain says, oh shit, and he has to do something to create some space and get that ball out in front. If he just continued his turn, he would be perfect, right? But what happens is if he kept his shoulders level, we'd be fine. What he does is that he starts creating this angle with his back. So he starts pushing this backwards away from the baseball, right? So now when he does that, instead of having that 10-degree attack angle, maybe that attack angle starts working at, let's say, 15. But he's already geared up for his vertical accuracy at 10 degrees, right? We talked about the vertical accuracy. So now if that that attack angle changes, he's going to hit the top of the ball every time, all right? Again, your bat is quick enough. We don't need to rush to that baseball. Just keep turning, all right? Now, in terms of launch angle, all we have to do is hit the bottom of the baseball to create a positive launch angle, all right? Again, that goes with the vertical accuracy. So if this is the baseball and our swing is going up, right? We hit the ball right below midline, that ball will go up every single time, and that's what we want. So launch angle, we want to go up, hit below the baseball, don't rush your swing, it'll go up. Next thing, we're going to talk about the stressful velocity, all right? Again, his timing is fine. We're going to talk about stressful velocity, and this is why we're going to go back to the tee. So I know that front toss is not very stressful, but obviously it is when Chris is swinging because he's trying to create more room. He's rushing his swing to try to get there. So we're going to go back to the tee. Every time that we go up, so tee work, not very stressful. Front toss, not very stressful. For Chris, it is right now. BP, a little more stressful, right? And then obviously live game or like machine pitch, that's where the stress level starts going up. And that's when players would start trying to rush their swing like Chris is. So we're going to go back to the tee. This is the drill that we're going to do. Hopefully we're on a field so we can see the ball flight. And I want Chris to try to hit the ball as far as he can. So when he pick up the balls, I don't care if the ball, I'm not talking about how far the ball travels in the air. I'm talking about how far the ball travels altogether. So if his hardest hit ball rolls, that's the one that we're going to try to duplicate, all right? So we're going to set up this plate. We're going to set up lefty because that's where the issue is in his lefty swing. We're going to set up that tee. Don't go too far out in front because we're just going to start yanking balls. You're going to use your arms to hit that ball. I want you to keep your hands back by your back shoulder. Hands back by the shoulder. And another cue that I think would help Chris right now, and something I don't like to talk about because I usually have to fix this in people's swings, is keep the shoulders level. All right, so we want the front shoulder and back shoulder level. Right, I think he's dropping his backside too much, which is creating that rushing effect, hitting the top half of the ball. Another cue you could use is keep your backside tall. That was something I heard a lot when I was younger. Keep backside tall. Again, I would work belt high tee, try to hit the ball as far as possible. Thing that, you know, if we go high tee, that'll help a lot too, because he's going to have to keep his shoulders level to hit that ball. Low tee is kind of counterproductive because he can drop his back shoulder. It's not really what we're trying to accomplish here. But again, keep hands back, keep shoulder level, keep the backside tall. Let's go tall. All right. And I think that'll fix the issue. So now if we can do that off the tee and you find your contact points, I think we'll be able to do it during front toss. All right. It's going to take some time, but you know, we got time, right? All right, let me know if this helps. If it doesn't, I'll send another video of me kind of demonstrating what I'm trying to talk about here. All right, see it.